what I forgot to mention about the pocket dimensions, I was trying to get to a point with because people have like nocturnal visitors a lot. People tell stories of this, but it's again, there's this trace tracking going on. Like these entities are coming from the artificial created synthetic world, and they're traveling through some conduit that's a little bit more complicated. There's stuff to it. There's like that we're not aware of fully. We're partially aware of, or we can see evidently there's something of the sort, but we don't know full ramifications for that at all. I mean, it's funny because all the narcissistic New Agers are like, they know everything. Nothing's everything. It's just feelings. Feelings are facts, and that's the new world. Yay! Everyone belongs, and it's perfect. So those people are like unreliable, with no integrity. And believe like the busybody, backbiting gossipers is common. They are very perniciously violent towards the rational and the humane. So this is why you have the inhumane going on. And inhumane is a word. It means something. When you see, they really want everybody to be psychopaths. That's the New World Order. Everyone's supposed to be a psychopath, and that's what the New Agers really are. They're going into the harmonics of the psychopath. This is no more humanity, and everything will be great if we just get rid of humanity. And they really believe that, and they have a great violence towards the humane. Your friends and family will be polarized to the busybody, backbiting gossipers. This happens all the time. You read it about experience. It's in the Bible. It tells you there's a strange phenomenon that will happen to people who are on the straight and narrow. If you're on the straight and narrow, and it's so disgusting what goes on, because there is that smear campaigning, that busybody backbiting going on, and they're projecting. So you're the narcissist by saying, hey, reality matters. That offends these people. So again, with pocket dimensions, you have all these other entities that are of the same sort. For all these mechanics of, ambiguous ramifications, because we're not really sure on the things, but we do have evident observations. And generally, anybody who's into the New Age narcissism is also into censorship in their truth. It's just their truth. So it's a common thing. You see these people all the time. But the other day I had this experience, and I have many experiences, because when you're flying around, you kind of, I think, pick up notice. That's why something, you shouldn't be. It's funny because all the narcissistic, esoteric people on the internet, they don't even have any experience or understanding of this. It's something that's like theoretical in their schema, but they don't even have you traveled anywhere, deliberately and found some, knowledge, proofable? Have you proven that? Because they have that program for that, and they say they have results. And it's interesting how they come upon that, and I can go in on that. That's why they get results, how they get results, because the conduit spirits is very much granting of this process. They, you can, particularly if you're going to be empowering one of their stable nodes. People understand what I'm talking about. But the other day I was having a dream, and I went to sleep right away. I was a little bit tired, so I'm like, I want to get some rest. It was early, and immediately I went to sleep, which is shocking. And I went to sleep so fast. But then I heard like a little something like growled, and then I heard someone's voice, very loud, and both were loud. And it was in my dream. Usually in your dream, if you have a conversation or something, it's more or less telepathic. It's not very phonetic. There's not really any volume to things, I don't think. In your experience, in your dreams, do you recall sound really being of value as opposed to just like knowledge? It's, you're having a conversation, but it's more or less telepathic. you don't really notice at the time, but anyway, this was noticeable. I was like, wow, that sounded like something, and you have a direction sense of where it's coming from, and they were coming from two different locations, and it was so loud it woke me up, and I'm like, I woke up, I'm like, wow, I just went to sleep. So I went to sleep in like just a couple minutes, and already I was in a dream, lucid state, and I heard those two sounds, and it was very poignant, and it wasn't something that was in the material world fully, but I think it was in a node pocket dimension close by, because then later I went to sleep in the same location, and the same two sounds sounded again with the same location. So it's, even though it's semi-abstract, there is that like parallel dimension. I think that this parallel dimension is quite everywhere. And this is our material manifest world, because it is synthetic. So it's kind of like just like this nodal data everywhere, and you can't really navigate it. You're going to navigate it from your material manifestation point, but other entities there is some kind of ramification to it, but we're not understanding that from our mortal experience. We can only estimate towards it. And that's the real knowledgeable people will speak in these terms. But the unknowledgeable people will be an absolute. There's nothing but feelings, there's self, and you're the source, and you're tuned into source, and that's everything. And that's, you go, okay, fine in that. And generally when you see those people, they're going to be siding with the Marxists and the Stalinists and in the real world, and go like, well, okay. And it becomes neither here nor there. It becomes both extremes and no extremes, and it becomes Babylonian nonsense. And we even get that word Babel, because it is Babel. It's a Babylonian nonsense. But then if you see the people who are rational, humane, civil, rational, those people are good company, and they make a good society. They're good memories, good times. But then when you have those other people, they're the busybody, backbiting gossipers. They're treacherous, and they will spite you just to violate you, just to be pious in violation towards humanity, because that's their polarity. Because, in my experience, or you can read about other people's experience, and it's really polarized, because like where do we have, they say, it's like an epidemic of narcissism. Well, it's coming from the field of psychology. That's the ones who are teaching people to be narcissistic, to be psychopaths. They want everybody to be psychopaths, hypocrites with cognitive dissonance. And because it's the psychologists who are leading people into a cognitive dissonant psychopathy, this is why we have it. And it's so funny, because you look at it on the internet, so all the psychologists giving the people advice about narcissism, and then they're all New Agers, and they're all Democrats. So you got to put it in anecdotal, measurement. You go, okay, so apparently the Democrats are not responsible for any of the problems in our world. Neither are the New Agers. And whom are the problem? Just the rational human.